Hey people, D-Man here, and today I am reviewing Invincible, Season 1, all 3 episodes so far. I don't know if there's going to be more episodes, but if there is, I'll obviously review them as well. But anyways, I'm going to be reviewing them one at a time. First off, starting with episode 1, obviously. Haven't watched the rest of them yet, but I will, and they'll all be in this review. Um, and there will be spoilers. Spoiler-free. I like it so far. Um, I like it so far. There is a few problems here and there that I saw, but I like it so far. Okay, so spoilers. So let's start off with the animation. The animation, it's okay, but it's not the prettiest or best animation I've ever seen. Actually, it kind of reminds me of like somewhat of like 90s to 80s animation, to be honest. Some of like the more still framed animation stuff really almost like it's lacking on budget in certain areas there. But still okay, still pretty good as long as the story is good, still pretty good. Um, Storyline, by the way, or let's talk about voice actors before we talk about storyline. Voice actors are pretty good. I do like the voice actors for the characters. So they were pretty nice. Um, then we go to storyline. Okay, so the storyline, it's generic, to be honest. It's about a boy who has a father, and his father's basically Superman, and he's going to turn into Superman Boy, I guess. Or in this case, Invincible, his name is, I assume. So it's interesting, but it's kind of, it's tellable, and then at the end, uh, it's not tellable at the end because at the end the guy kills him unless you obviously seen the comics it's based off of, which I haven't seen them before. I have seen like one of them where he gets like raped. It's pretty fucked up. But they're not at that point yet. But anyways, so we see him. He wants to become a superhero like his dad, and he basically goes on a journey to become a superhero like his dad after he was waiting for his powers. And to be honest, it was kind of slow for the first half an hour to 40 minutes because it was about 50 minutes this episode, and I think these episodes are going to be about 40 to 50 to maybe even hour minutes long for most of these episodes. But yeah, this episode was about 50 minutes. And for the first like 30 to 30 minutes to 40 minutes, it was kind of slow, to be honest. It wasn't that interesting. But then it started to get more interesting as it went along. And then at the end, we saw him kill essentially this world's version of the Justice League. I don't remember their names, to be honest. But yeah, he kills essentially this version's his father, not him. Sorry, his father, Omni Man, I think his name is. Basically, Superman of this world ends up killing the Justice League of this world with Batman and all. It's pretty messed up, and that's why it got interesting at the end there. Although I will say the way they fought against him was kind of stupid, kind of lame, because they were fighting against him, trying to stop him from killing them, obviously. And they were kind of kicking his ass at some points, but most of the time they were just getting killed. And then at one point they had him restrained, and then they just kept on punching him when the most logical solution would have been to like stab him. I mean, they could punch him hard enough to make him bleed, so if they had like a knife, they could have probably stabbed him. Or, I don't know, snap his neck. It's kind of dumb, I guess. But whatever, he wins at the end because of, I guess, plot convenience, plot armor. To be honest, I feel like they would have won there if they were actually smart about it and they like just snapped his neck or something like that. But I guess their version of Batman did die, so they didn't have the intelligence to know that. I'm joking. I don't know. It was just that ending was just like it was cool. It was cool, but at the same time, it was just like seriously, you couldn't have done anything else, just but punch him in the face. I don't know. It's kind of dumb. But anyways, first episode, pretty good, although a little bit slow at first. Hopefully the next episodes are gonna be good too, because he just ended up killing the whole Justice League, and I'm pretty sure from the comics, spoilers alert here by the way, I'm pretty sure he turns out to be evil or not evil, or evil then not evil, then evil then not evil, or something like that. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So far, interesting. Animation, it's okay. Could be better. Voice acting, pretty good. Plot line, so far, interesting, as I already said. Kind of slow at first, but interesting at the end. Anyways, let's move on to episode 2.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
So, episode 2. Okay. This episode was actually better than the first one, I will say that much. It was a little bit more action packed and it was a little bit more fun. Although we did meet one character that I really didn't like, and it was one of the new superheroes. So the old superheroes are dead, and now there's new superheroes. I guess there's several superheroes on Earth at this point. We just don't know about all of them, I guess. But we know about the new superheroes now, or at least the group that our main protagonist is in. It's this little, I forgot their name, but it's this little group full of teenagers, I guess. And the one leader guy, or the only other guy besides I guess the robot might be a guy, but whatever. The only other guy except for our guy, he's kind of really annoying. He's just kind of really rude and just dumb and just annoying, to be honest. But whatever, I guess. And we just get to see them fight against an alien horde over and over again until they get their ass kicked a few times, and then at the end, Omni-Man wakes up from his coma because he killed a bunch of people last episode, I should say, not last season. He wakes up from his coma. He goes to their planet and commits mass genocide. Which is really messed up. So yeah, he goes to the planet, just commits mass genocide, and kills basically the whole planet. And then they send him back home, and he's back home with his family. And there was a demon in this episode that kind of reminded me of Hellboy, who's a detective. So he kind of reminded me of Hellboy. And what's that DC character? The man with no face. He's a detective. He wears like a hat and a suit. I forgot his name, but he kind of reminds me of him too, a little bit. But yeah, he's like Hellboy. But yeah, he's there, and he basically just wants to discover who did what and how did they all die. And he discovers like, hey guys, this is most likely Omni-Man, and they don't listen to him, but they kind of like I expect that they kind of expect that it's Omni-Man. I expect that they kind of like, it might be Omni-Man, but we don't know. But the one guy's is like, no, it's not Omni-Man, but I think he's starting to think like it's probably Omni-Man. And there was like a little hint to like saying that there was a little hint when he went to this people's planet and he did the mass genocide. There's a little hint where he's just like, hey, planet Earth isn't yours to conquer. Which I think is leading up to the point where they're gonna conquer it. Him and his species, I guess, whatever. Him and his alien race. Because that's a part of the comics, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's gonna be really messed up. But yeah, so far, I enjoyed the second episode. Animation, it's still... It's I will say that there's a few parts here that was a little bit better animated than the first episode, but a lot of it wasn't. So animation's still like kind of average. Voice actors, the new ones including, still good. Except the one new character's kind of grating on you, kind of annoying, but whatever, I guess. But anyways, that's episode 2. Episode 3. Okay, so episode 3. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more episodes to this, for sure, because this was like a cliffhanger if there isn't, I guess. But I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more episodes of season 1. But anyways, episode 3, review to episode 3. This one was not as jam-packed as with action as the last episode, sadly. But but it was still interesting. It still had some good action in there, somewhat. Uh, Blood and gory in there as well, like the other episodes. Um, uh, it focused a lot on our main character and how he can balance his work life with his home life, which was interesting. And he got seems like he's got a girlfriend at this point, and the other girl that he liked, he also likes, tried to come and maybe hook up with him, but by that time he was already hooked up with the other girl, so that's not going to happen. But I'm pretty sure it does happen in the comics. Spoiler alert, just saying. um, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. And we still have the Red Devil trying to look for the killer, even though we already know who the killer is, us as the audience. And there was some relationship issues between the girl superhero and her ex-boyfriend, and she just says, "Nah, we're staying apart." And I think it was meant to be like more emotional, but to be honest, it wasn't really emotional because we've only been with these characters for like 2 episodes, and they expect us to like feel like, "Oh wow, that's so sad." It's like, no, that's not sad at all. That's kind of what he deserves. He's an asshole. Like, I really don't have any emotional investment in these characters at all right now. You need to work on that a little bit harder. But yeah, that's the point where we are now, I guess. They're trying to make us feel emotional for these characters, yet it doesn't work because we don't know them that well. And there's also a new superhero team that replaced the old one that died. I forgot their name, the superhero team's name. But they got some interesting members on there, including a girl that turns into monsters. But her, but due to that, every time she turns into a monster, she turns younger. So I guess to age, she has to not turn into a monster. But every time she turns into a monster, she turns younger. I wonder how young she turns every time she turns into a monster. Is it like equal to the amount she's turned into a monster? Like if she turns for 5 minutes, does she de-age 5 minutes? Or does she de-age like a year? Huh. But yeah, she seems pretty, like, she's probably the most badass on the team now. That's a character I like a lot right now. That's pretty funny. And the robot, our main character, the robot, he released the prisoner, one of the prisoners that we had in the first episode. And they're back, or he's back, I guess. He's probably gonna make another clone of himself, I assume, because that was a clone, I guess, or one of them was, or whatever. So that was interesting, I guess, as well. But yeah, all in all, fairly interesting. But at this point, I do want to watch more. But I hope it gets a little bit more interesting, a little bit better at this point, because this episode did drag a little bit there. Wasn't as good as the second episode. But yeah, so far, this show is interesting. It's good. And I hope they improve it a lot. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's my thoughts and opinions on this first 3 episodes. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell button to keep up with my content. That's the best way. Link down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look over here, buddy. Look over here.